I'm Catherine, the Needleberry Stitcher. Today is Friday, June the 30th, and it's been a while. I think it's been almost 3 months since I filmed. Sorry, it's been so busy. Just life, you know, stuff just happens, and I'm still here. I'm still stitching. Kind of some days I'm stitching, some days I'm not. It's just kind of going with the flow right now, and I'm very, very happy with just about everything going on in my life. I don't have a huge life update, and if I do, I'll just stick it at the end. So I'm gonna jump right into stitching. I don't know what I showed you in my last video, and I didn't go back and rewatch it, so I'm just gonna show you what I think I've worked on since the last time, and if I haven't had any progress on it, it might not show that. It might not look like I have anything done on it, but I honestly don't have, I don't know what I worked on. I take that back. I know what I worked on because I track it in the app. Where did I put my phone? Oh, it's right next to me. I guess I could go through and very quickly just kind of show you the stuff that I've worked on, like since, was it like the beginning of April or mid-April? Or maybe I did an update in May. I don't know. But anyway, let me see. I guess I could maybe try and show you, let's see, stats. All right, I'll give you an overview of kind of what I worked on, and then what I'll do is just kind of show you what I have. This won't take very long. All right, April I worked on Beauty and the Beast, which I'll show you. I worked on A New Start, which was Morning Glory, which is a Nora Corbett from the Pixie Couture collection. I worked on Beloved, which is a Heaven and Earth design supersize project that will take a lifetime if I work on nothing else. And Beauty and the Beast, by the way, is a Tilton Crafts full coverage. I worked on a Dimensions kit called Lost No More. I worked on that one at Easter. And I worked on another Heaven and Earth design. It's kind of a smaller one. It's called Moon Hair. And I had actually shown that before in one of my whip parades, but I restarted it because I didn't like the fabric that I started it on. So that's a restart. And I made some pretty decent progress on it, so I'll show it to you. And then in May, I only worked on 2 things in May. It was actually a pretty busy month, and maybe that'll be a life update later in the video. I worked on Beauty and the Beast, the Tilton Crafts full coverage piece, and I worked on another New Start, which was my very first, what's it called? The fancy, oh my gosh, Soda Sal. I was like, my very first Soda Sal. Soda Stitch is the designer, and I started a different one from the stitchers who had sponsored that My First Soda Sal hashtag, and they had started, everyone was starting on the same day with their very first one, and it was cleaning day, or I think it was called cleaning day. I did a different one called Sewing Cats. So I obviously haven't finished that one because it's a little bit bigger than you know, the one that everyone was working on. But that hashtag My First Soda Sal was sponsored by, and I'm probably gonna forget because it's been a long day and I've worked already today. It was done by Burn Stitches, Tattooed Stitcher, Rogue Mama Stitcher, and who's the last one, you guys? Anyway, I'll put it in the description below, or I'll put it on the screen or something. Anyway, there were several people who participated. Those people sponsored it and brought a whole bunch of people together, and I think it was very successful. A lot of people joined in on that, so I had fun with it. So thank you guys for doing that. I don't think I would have even thought to do a Soda Sal or a Soda Stitch pattern. Not that I haven't wanted to, it's like yet another rabbit hole. It's like, oh, I've already got so many things on the go, but when I saw everybody doing it, and I mean, they're really cute patterns, so I'm glad that I did. All right, and so far in June, well, I guess so far, today's the last day of the month, so in all of June, what I worked on, I continued working on Sewing Cats, I continued working on Beauty and the Beast, and I had another New Start, it was something I was supposed to start back in February. It's a pattern by, it's gonna be one of those videos, you can tell. Golden Kite, called Home in the Mountains, and it was supposed to be a birthday start with Suki the Brown-Eyed Stitcher, but I didn't get a chance to start it in February when everyone that was starting it with her on her birthday started it, so I actually started mine earlier in June. So, and I haven't gotten very far on it. In fact, I think I've started it and then took it out and then restarted it and then took that out, and then I'm like on my third restart of that one. That's why I haven't made a lot of progress. So that's it. Those are the ones I'm going to show you, but I'll probably show you a few other ones too. And then I also have a few things that I've picked up along the way. Many of you who follow me on Instagram will know that I'm so happy to share that Color and Cotton Needleworks is now open for business with their storefront. They opened last month and I was there on the first day. I was technically not I wasn't the first person through the doors. I was like the 5th person through the doors, but there were also some people who had gotten like a preview in the store, I think, because we saw people walking around shopping already before the official open time, and I think somebody said, oh, they're FlossTubers, so they got in earlier. I don't know. It's just gossip. It might not be true. I have no idea, but anyways, there were a few people in there already, but anyway, I was like, there are 1, 2, 3. No, I was like the 3rd person. I was the 3rd person in the store. I was so excited. And I had such a fun time there. Corinne from Corey Creates 08, Corey Creates, she also came over to the store and we met up over there and we had so much fun. We looked around. It was super packed. There were so many people in the store. We got in line, and the line from the register, which was at the back of the store, came all the way down the side of the store and all the way down, wrapped around the other side of the wall to the doors. Like it was I think we were very patiently, mind you. I had no problem waiting in line, but I think it was like it felt like maybe 45 minutes, it might have been, that we waited in line, but we just chit-chatted and we were looking around, and as we moved forward in the line, we'd like look at more stuff because the fabric was right next to us, so we were like looking at fabric, and I was so happy to get to know Corinne a little bit better because we haven't really been able to, our schedules with work and everything, we haven't been able to connect much in person, but now she's off for the summer, so, and my work is like really stable. I'm kind of busy, but my weekends are always free, so hopefully we can connect again. Thank you, Corinne, for meeting up with me. Before I even show my cross stitch work, I want to show you the most beautiful and amazing gift that she gave me that day at the store opening. I have the perfect projects to put in it, which I'll show you later because that's also part of my haul, but I have to show this first. She made this project bag for me, and it's bumblebee themed. Isn't it so cute? And look at the little zipper pull. Isn't that just the most adorable thing? I don't know if it'll focus, but it is so adorable. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Oh, it is so cute. Anyway, take my word for it. I can't get it up close, but. And then, so it's got the vinyl front, and then she's got honeycomb fabric on the back. It is so perfect. I don't know how I don't know. She just has this sense about people or something, because while we were in the store, she didn't give this to me until we were leaving. Like, she had it in her car. And while we were shopping in the store, I kept coming across these bumblebee themed patterns, and that's what I ended up buying were some bumblebee, at least one, there's one, I'll just show you one. I'm already on a tangent, might as well go down that path. I got Honey of a Tiny Town pattern that day at the grand opening, and I was all just about like just bees and stuff, and that was the theme of the project bag that she made and gifted to me. So thank you so much, Corinne. It is so amazing. And if you guys don't know, she's actually got an Etsy shop. Go check out her Instagram, her YouTube, her profiles. Go check out her social medias because she's got links to her Etsy shop, and she makes bags and she sells them there. And she's a seamstress. Like, that's what she does. She teaches sewing. Like, she's a master. I mean, I'm looking at this like, holy cow. She does amazing work. So hop on her site and pick yourself up some project bags. I know I'm going to. I'm going to go see what she has out there because I haven't checked this week. So there's that. Okay, I already showed you that. I might as well show you the rest of the stuff that I got at the grand opening. And there's no, honestly, I have no agenda in this video. I'm just happy to be filming it all because it's just been so busy lately. I've wanted to, you know, I really wanted to film videos, but every time I thought about it, I'm like, oh, I don't have enough time, or oh, it's getting late, or oh, I'm tired, or I have to get up for work, and I always have an excuse. But this is a really cute pattern, this Honey of a Tiny Town. So I got this one, and I also got the Seaside Tiny Town. And look at that, isn't that adorable? I love seashore type stuff too. Honestly, I don't think there's too many patterns that I don't like. Except primitive. I don't like, well, I like some primitive. I don't like the reproduction samplers as much. There are some I like, and they're growing on me. I will tell you, there are a lot of patterns that are like things that I would never have stitched maybe, I don't know, 20 years ago. And now all of a sudden I'm like, oh yeah, I think I could stitch that. And yeah, I'm open to it. So, oh, what else did I get? Oh, this is the other, see, this was going with the bumblebee theme. I got Hive Rules, and this is Primrose Cottage Stitches. So this is another one I got at the grand opening. So see, how did Corinne know that I was going to be all about bees? And she already knew somehow, because she had that, that's the bag she brought to give to me. Like, and we've never talked about that I like bee themed things. Anyway, so that's a cute one. And I got fabric. I shouldn't say I got so much fabric, but I got fabric. Now on the opening day of Color and Cotton Needleworks, that opening weekend, they were only doing 1/8 and 1/4 cut pieces of fabric, but they have since then started doing, you can do up to a yard. I think you can do a yard or a half yard. They're not doing custom cuts, which I think is smart. I don't think you want to do custom cuts. You end up with people coming in and wanting to, you know, they've looked through fabric and they see, oh, this is exactly what I want, and then they open it up and it's got like holes all like cut out of it, and it's like not gonna work. So I think it's a smart business idea or business model to just stick with the 1/8, 1/4, half, full yard. So, but I got some, everything I got, I think, with the exception of a piece that I got to do the tiny towns. I got this here. It's a 1/8. This is the only one that I got that was a 1/8, and it's called Sandcastle, and it's the April 2023 Fabric Club, and it's a 32 count Belfast linen. And I'll hold it up. It's called Sandcastle. Just a really gorgeous neutral. Some just real nice modeling in it, but like not a lot. Just enough to kind of give it, yeah, I think that's going to be really cute. Both of those patterns are going to look really good on that. And I got another piece of fabric that is a 28 count linen, and it's called Rouge, and this is a 1/4 yard that I got. I'm not going to open the whole thing up, but you can see the color. Just a really pretty, I think the light's kind of shining on it, but anyway, it's just a nice, like a rosy colored, almost like a dusty rose. And then I got a 28 count Lugana 1/4 yard, and it's just a limited edition fabric. It doesn't have a name, but it's a nice lavender purple, like a lilac color. I'm trying to get it where the light will show. The light's kind of washing it out a little bit, but if you can kind of see it from over here. Anyway, so there's that one, and I got one other 1/4 yard of 28 count Lugana. It's another limited edition fabric. It doesn't have a specific name, but it's a pretty navy color. I thought a mermaid might look nice on this one. Or, oh, you know what would look really good is, what's the Mirabilia? Not the Fairy Moon, but the other one. The one with the stars. I can't remember. I usually know them. I just can't remember that one. Stitchin' Mommy's working on it. She dyed her own fabric and she did a navy color. So I thought that might actually be a good one too. I can't remember. I'll put a picture up if I can remember to do it. So that was what I got at the grand opening. So we got that out of the way. Not out of the way, I mean, I don't mean that, like, I love talking about it, but there's only so much time. And now I'm going to show you what I've been working on, what I've been stitching on, which is what I said I was going to do at the beginning of the video, and I'm finally getting to it. So in no particular order, because I don't remember what order I worked on everything, I'm just going to do it according to what's next to me here. This is my start on Sewing Cats, and I'll put a picture up of what the pattern is because I don't have a printed copy. I have it on Pattern Keeper. I have a digital copy. I got it in Sew to Stitch's Etsy shop and downloaded, so that's a really convenient way to buy them. And this is how far I got on it. Something behind it. There. That's how far I got so far. It's the middle shelf. And I started in the middle with the spools, the green and the yellow spools, and I have not done any back stitching yet. And I think it's gonna be a lot of work to do the back stitching. I was talking to Amanda, Lucky Chance Stitcher, because she's working on this one too. She had started hers, I think she said she started it maybe a year ago. And she did the same thing and started on the middle shelf, and I was asking her, I was like, oh, which, are you gonna backstitch as you go, or what, are you gonna wait till the very end? And she's like, I think I might just finish the middle shelf, and then once I finish that, I'll do the backstitching and then move on to another shelf. And I thought that made sense, so I might do the same thing. Isn't that just the cutest? It's gonna look even better with the backstitching. The Sew to Stitch patterns always do. All right, so that was one of my starts. Find a place to put stuff down on the floor. My craft room, you guys, is getting so messy. It's starting to get to a point where I'm like, I don't even want to work. Like, I've got to take time this weekend and clean it up. It's just so chaotic right now. This is Home in the Mountains. You guys, this is my third start on Home in the Mountains. I'll put a picture up. Again, this is a digital one that I have in Pattern Keeper, so I'll put a picture of what it's gonna look like when it's done. It's Home in the Mountains by Golden Kite. And so my first time I started it, I'll just tell you, the first time I started it with the blended threads version of the regular size chart. So what that meant was I was gonna be having, in order to get the blends, I was gonna have to do 2 strands over 1 square half stitch or 10 stitch, and I did that, and I did about 300 stitches. I did 3 like blocks of 100 because I'm working this one kind of like diagonal blocks, so I do a block of 100 and working diagonal. I don't know how this is going to show up on the screen, but you know what I mean, starting in the top left corner and then just kind of working diagonally. It was so confetti heavy, which isn't a problem for me, except there were so many threads and the back of it got so thick and so difficult. I couldn't even get my needle through because there was so much going on the back. And I hated it. And it was on 28 count, which I'm starting to get a little bit more okay with 28 count. A year ago, I would have said I absolutely hate it, and I'm restarting everything that I've already started on 28 count on 25 count. Just had thunder, so I don't know if you could hear that. I've already lost power once today anyway, we had some crazy thunderstorms that came through. We had hail, and it was like marble-sized hail. Like I don't even want to go look at my car right now. My car is parked outside. So anyway, I was like, I'm not doing this on 28 count with 2 strands, 10 stitch. It doesn't work for me. I don't like it. I'm getting okay with 28 count, but I think 1/1 on 28 count and not 2/110. There's just too much thread stuff happening. And you'll see even after I restarted it again, so I bought what did I do? What was the next thing that I did? The next thing that I did was I bought the non-blended version of the pattern, and so it's just like I can do 1/1 full cross, but I didn't do that. I started doing 1/1 half stitch, and I did the same thing again where I was just kind of like, my doorbell's ringing and my dogs are barking. I can never seem to find a good time here anymore to just film. Stuff going on here. So if you hear all that, I apologize. So I did 1/1 half stitch, and then I was like, I had just pulled out all the 300 threads. I took a seam ripper and I was like snipping and I got all the threads out. It took me forever. And I was watching a really crazy YouTube video. My husband was watching it and I was just kind of like watching and listening in horror. It was about this guy who got mauled by a bear, and the bear like attacked him up in Canada and like ate half his face and like it was like, anyway. So now, do you do that where you watch something when you're stitching and all of a sudden you associate those things with the piece? I'm like working on this home in the mountains thing, and all of a sudden I've got this idea of this bear mauling a person. I'm like, every time I work on this and it's like forest, and I'm gonna be thinking about, anyway, trying to disassociate that whole video experience from this piece, because this is not that. But anyway, I haven't even showed you yet, but this is where I got to on my 3rd attempt, because the 2nd attempt I was doing 1/1 half stitch and I didn't like the coverage. It wasn't enough coverage. So now I'm on my 3rd attempt, and this is 1/1 full cross, which I really like. I should have just done that in the first place. It's on 28 count, which is totally fine. And this is my 3rd attempt, and I'm sticking with it. So it's the very, very top corner, and that's it. Not very much. But I would have had a whole lot more done if I had just, you know, not had to restart it 2 times, but there's that. All right. Now there's my favorite one that I've been back working on again like crazy because I'm so excited. I want to get it done. I always say that I want to get it done. I'm not going to unroll it because I still have it connected to my Lowry stand holder thing, and it's on. I just pulled it off because I was working on it, so it's still even stretched out. But anyway, this is my Beauty and the Beast by Tilton Crafts. The artwork is by Kordek, and this is being stitched 1/1 full cross on 25 count Lugana. And this is where I'm at. I do remember saying in one of my previous videos that I was gonna wait until the end to do the rose, but I couldn't help myself. I was like, no, I want to see it. I finally want to work with something other than blue. So I got to work on the leaves and the rose petals with the nice beautiful colors, and it looks really kind of, the lighting is kind of weird on it. It looks weird up close, but from a little further back, isn't it beautiful? I love this one. And this is the there's 2 versions of this pattern on Tilton Crafts. There's one that's the original, it's based on the artwork from the original movie, the cartoon version, and this is the 2018 version of the movie that came out, like the live action version that Disney put out in 2018 with I never remember the actress's name, but she was the one that played Hermione in Harry Potter. Anyway, she starred as Belle. So I just love looking at this. I walk by it when I'm not stitching, and because I have it next to the chair I sit in our living room, and I walk by and I just have to keep like peeking at it because I love the way it's turning out. All right. And I'm sorry I keep going out of camera, but my stuff is like down there, so I have to like bend over, sorry. All right, this is the project that I started the week before I went to Stitch North. I went to the 2nd weekend of Stitch North in May, the May weekend, and I started it the week before just to get enough stitched on it. This is the Nora Corbett, the Pixie Couture one. What did I say it was called? There's so many. Morning Glory. And I wanted to have just enough outlined of the dress so that I could do a bunch of fill-in. And I think I got a decent amount done the week before, and the week that I was, the weekend that I was there. And I have it still in my Q-snap because I actually plan to work on it a little bit later tonight, but I'm not going to pull it out of the Q-snap there's not enough done on it for it to matter if I take it out of the Q-snap or not, but let me show you a picture of it first. This is the one, Morning Glory. I was gonna see if I could sell. Oh, this one was from 2008. It's Nora Corbett 126, NC 126, and this is saying what my fabric that I did it on. The fabric is called WDY Lugana, 32 count, and it's in the colorway Algae. And I got this fabric from Inspired Needle last September when they were at the Needlework Galleria in St. Charles, Missouri, which is near where I live. So that's what it looks like, and this is what I have done on it. Not a ton, but I mean, I think it's a pretty good start for not having worked on it very much. I think I pulled it out one more time after that weekend. I did a little bit up here and a little bit of that green before Stitch North, and then I mostly worked on white. I think I worked on almost all white when I was at Stitch North. So that's what I got done. Yeah. Now what I want to show you, which is so exciting and beautiful, is my good friend and stitching pal, Amanda, Lucky Chance Stitcher. When we were at Stitch North, I gotta say, probably like my top reason for going to Stitch North was so I could meet her in person, because she's super awesome. And I knew she was gonna be there, and she gave me the most beautiful project bag that she made as a gift. I'm not going to take all my floss out of it, but she made this project bag. It's got the vinyl front. Look at the stitching, is so gorgeous. Talk about expert stitching. Yet another person who can stitch or who can sew. One day I hope I have a sewing machine, but I don't have it set up anywhere. But look at the back of the fabric. Isn't that the cutest ever? It is so adorable with the animals. Oh my gosh, I love it. This is the very first fabric project bag I've ever had. Thank you, Amanda. I have this is now my travel piece that I put in it, my Nora Corbett, and this makes it so easy. I just set the bag on my lap wherever I'm at. I've done it in the car. I did it at the airport on my flight home. I didn't do it on the airplane. But when I was waiting at the airport at Stitch North, I got selected for jury duty. Oh my gosh, that's one of the reasons in May why I didn't get stitching done for almost a week. I got summoned to go to jury duty, like just to show up on the Monday, and I was like, oh, please, 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 I don't want to get selected. And they went through like 3 rounds of selecting anywhere from 26 to 50 people. I'm like, oh, okay. And it's this massive room of people, and I didn't get picked. And then it was like, we had to be there at like 8 a.m. or 8:30. And it was like almost noon. And I was like, okay, I think I'm safe. And all of a sudden they were like, okay, we got one more group. And I'm like, oh no. And my name came up. I'm like, okay, great. They must have cleared the whole room that week, because I don't think there were too many people left in the room after that. But not only did I get selected to go for jury selection, but I ended up getting picked to be on the jury. So I was in jury duty for 3 full days, and on the 3rd day we stayed until 9 o'clock at night deliberating so that the judge could leave town on Thursday to go pick up his son from university. So, and I got paid a whole $68 for my 3 full days of service, and that included mileage. And it was a 40-minute drive for me each way to get there. So that's how that works here in the US, for those who are wondering. It's probably the same in Canada. I don't know. I've never done jury duty before. I mean, I wasn't even a citizen here in the US until, was it 2008? It was like, no, it was like 2012. I don't know, somewhere in 2008, 2012. I don't remember anymore. Those are things I should remember, but I don't. Okay. What else do I have to show you? I have a whole bag of stuff from Stitch North, like goodies and stuff, and there are so many people who have gone through their goodie bags. I'm not going to go through like all the stuff that I got, like from the Stitch North. I'll show you a few patterns that I bought. I got a few patterns from Tiny Modernist. She was there with a table of stuff. Oh, that was fun. Okay, one second. Okay, I told you that I worked on, let me find it. I don't know what I did with my project bag. I don't know. I don't know what I did with the actual dimensions kit, like my project bag, but it's here somewhere. See, I told you, I gotta clean up in here. But I worked on, I'll put a picture up of Lost No More by Dimensions Gold Collection. And this is where it's at. I got a little bit done. I didn't get too much, but it's getting there. And I don't iron. I'm terrible. I'm lucky to like just pull it out and work on it, let alone iron it. But I do want to iron this one. I want to put just a little bit of steam on it I want to get rid of these hoop marks. These hoop marks are from probably 15 to 20 years ago when I first started it. I started this tiny little corner up here about 15 years ago, and then that was it. So since then I've been pulling it out in the past year and working on it. So that's that one. There was another project I worked on. I didn't work on it in April, May, or June. I thought I did. And maybe I did and I didn't mark it that I worked on it. But this is, no, I think I probably did. I probably did show it, and I don't think I've worked on it since then. But it's from My Big Toe Designs. It's called It Is Well. And I'll just try and keep the pattern out of it so you can't see the pattern, but that's as far as I am on that one. All right. I don't think I've worked on it since. All right, now this is my restart of Moon Hair. I'll show you where it was on my old fabric that I didn't like. It was like a really awkward, it was an even weave with pre-printed, like it's the gridded fabric. But for some reason, whenever I tried to put it in my stretcher bars, it was stretched at like a diagonal, so it would never line up straightly. Is that a word, straightly? It would never line up correctly, and it was always felt like it was pulling to try and straighten it. I think there was just something wrong with the fabric, or maybe just, I don't know. I just couldn't get it to, and I couldn't wash it to try and restretch it because then all the grid lines would wash out of it. So, and I was getting really frustrated with it, and it's a 28 count, which at the time, and with the grid lines and everything, I was frustrated with it. So this is my first start. I'll put a picture in of what it looks like with Moon Hair. It's a Heaven and Earth design. And this is where I was when I started it the first time. So it was a decent amount done. I think it was like, maybe, it might have been like 8%, 7%. I don't even know. But all I know is I wasn't working on it. As much as I love the design, and my husband even likes the design, but I couldn't get myself to work on it. I was just, so I restarted it, and this is on a massive piece of fabric, which doesn't make sense because it's a really small design, but I started this one on Easter weekend along with Lost No More. That was the other one I worked on for Easter. And I started this one with Elisa from eCrafting in Colorado. And this is my restart. That's how far I got on it. I was really motivated. The colors are so beautiful to work on, and just seeing the bunny's ear coming in, it was like, oh, that's so cute. And it was just a nice springtime design. And I don't know, for whatever reason, my husband really likes this one. He's like, oh, it's whimsical and it's just nature. He likes animals and I like animals. And so that's where I'm at on that one. Not bad. I think my progress has been pretty good. It's been 3 months, but still, I feel like, you know, I could have been just like not stitching at all. So every stitch is better than no stitch at all. that's all my stitching. That's all I've worked on, I think, from a stitching perspective. Oh, I just found my Lost No More. I better put that with it. There. Okay, now I know where it is. Oh, Beloved! I forgot to show you Beloved. Hold on, I have a zipper. Okay. This is the other one I worked on. This is one that I'm working on the second calendar day of every month, except I haven't been able to the last couple months. Last month because I was in jury duty, and another month because I was traveling. Was I traveling? I forget. But there was another reason, like they were just, I couldn't do it. But this is Beloved by Adele Sessler, Heaven and Earth Designs. And it's a supersized version. I don't think it's max color. I don't think there is a I don't know, is there a max color version? Anyway, it's the supersized one. There's not a lot of colors in it anyway. It's a very monochromatic piece. I always say monotone. It's a monotone piece. I'm like, well, monotone means like musically one note. Monochrome means one color. So I interchange those words, unfortunately, and then I watch my videos back later and I'm like, it's not monotone. That's not a thing for, that's music. But anyway, let's see if I can, this is a massive piece of fabric, so give me a second to like actually be able to, I've got threads that are coming out of it, but this is, if you look at the chart, and you won't be able to tell by looking at it because like it doesn't look like anything right now, but it's basically the inside of her ear, right in there is what it is. So see if you can see an ear in there. But like right here is like the top of her ear. It's gonna go up to a point and then it's gonna come down, and then you can see like the inside of her ear right there. That's what this is. And I've already gone through why this is checkerboard like it is. I went through that in another video, and it's embarrassing to talk about why I did it. Just kind of doing random stuff to stay interested, but yeah, so I'm just kind of slowly filling in. So eventually it's not going to be so jagged because I don't want to see the blocks when I'm done. I don't want it to look like a checkerboard when it's done. So just kind of working my threads in, so hopefully those blocky lines go away. If not, I mean, let's be real, am I really ever gonna finish this project? We'll see about that. I mean, I'd have to retire right now and work like 80 hours a week on stitching in order to finish even probably a tenth of what I have started already. So there's just like piles of, oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm gonna next, that's all my stitching I'm gonna show. So if you came just to see stitching, that's all that I have. Next, I'm gonna go through a few things that I've picked up this month and last month and the month before. So probably 3 months worth of acquisitions. And things are gonna be messy in here, I can tell. So I'll try and do this a little bit organized. We'll see. All right, so I did something. I did a thing. I ordered a dimensions kit about 3 months ago because it was on eBay and it was a good price. And then last week I saw it on eBay and I was like, ooh, that's a really good price. I don't have that one. And I ordered it again. I did that. That's how oh, I just hit the camera. I'm sorry. That's how disorganized I am right now. Bumping cameras and ordering things twice. So I have 2 of these kits of, whoops, Cherry Blossom Creek. So I'm gonna do a giveaway. I'm gonna give one of these away. So if you're watching and you're interested and you would like to be entered into a giveaway for this, it's beautiful. It's summertime colors. I mean, it's just really pretty. If you're interested in that, please put a comment below the video What do we do? Let's use the word summer because it's just shortly after the first day of summer here in the United States in North America. So use the word summer in your comment, just doesn't matter, S-U-M-M-E-R, whatever your comment is. Please don't type the words giveaway or free or anything that's gonna lead anyone who, because there are apps and websites out there that can go in and search for specific words and look for free, giveaway, all the words that we do in these giveaways. So they're just trolling, trying to get free stuff, because then they just get it for free and they turn around and sell it on eBay. So please don't use those words in the comments. If you do, I'm gonna have to delete your comment and then you won't be entered in to win it. So please be over 18. Please be a subscriber. And if you're not a subscriber and you still want to do the giveaway, just click the subscribe button and turn on notifications, whatever, you know, you don't have to turn on the notifications, but please be a subscriber. It helps to support my channel. And I mean, I'm not monetized. I don't do this for money, but it is fun, and it's you can show your support of my channel by subscribing, and the more people who subscribe, the more people will find, and I can share my love of cross stitch with more people. So all right, so whatever, share with me your favorite summertime hobbies, summer activities, vacations, trips. What's your favorite thing to do in the summer? What's your favorite thing about summer? Anything at all. Just use the word summer. And I always love to read comments, and I read every single comment. I don't always get to reply to them all like right away, but I do try and keep up with them. So, and the next time I do a video, which it will not be 3 months, I promise. The next time I do a video, I'll randomly draw a winner and we'll see who wins it. So good luck. What else did I do that wasn't so crazy as buying things multiple times? Let's see. Oh my goodness, I want to show you something that I got all kitted and ready to go. Part of this was the haul that I got. I'm sorry, the word haul, some people don't like that word. Part of this was the stuff that I bought from the grand opening of Color and Cotton Needleworks. I got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 7 skeins of their threads. It's all the same color because I'm starting up another big project. And the color is Under Your Spell. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. It's so pretty. I was initially looking for a slightly more blue purple and not so much like a violet purple. I was looking for like more of I don't know the name of the color, but it's more on a bluer side of the purples, but on a darker scale, and I couldn't really find anything that I liked that was more solid, and I wanted the color to be more solid and not so variegated. So this is the closest that I got, and I love it. So I got those threads, and I got 2 spools. I should tell you what the project is first, right? Because then you can start envisioning how it's going to look. I'm going to start, and I'm on like the last person in the whole world to start it, but it's I'm already losing it. It's the, come on, I know what this is. Okay, it's the Modern Folk Embroidery, was it the 2021 stitch along? Like it was 2021. Fruits of Plenty. I'll put a picture in of what that's going to look like. This is the version with the colors and the model stitch that I'm showing on the screen, but I'm changing it out after seeing Amy from Mimi Stitchery, who finished one in like peacock colors, like those beautiful turquoise greens and navy. She finished hers. Go check out her Instagram, Mimi Stitchery. She's a beautiful person. I met her for the first time at Stitch North, and we sat at the same table, and she's funny, she's sweet, she's just such a beautiful person, and like you can just tell when you talk to her that she cares about people, and she's passionate about what she does for work, but she's passionate about cross stitch, and Honestly, I could just sit and listen to her talk all day. So she's just fun. She's a really fun person. So Amy, it was really nice to meet you. Okay. Fruits of Plenty that I saw Amy Mimi Stitchery finish. She brought it to Stitch North. It's framed, gorgeous, and I fell in love with it. So I asked her how she picked her colors, because they're not obviously what is in the model stitch. And she said that she chose sulky threads for the lighter color, and it's variegated. So the lighter color had the variegation to it, but then her darker color was navy, and then she had also like a really dark gray for some accent colors throughout. So she chose a navy, which was one of the colors in her sulky blendables, and so I tried doing the same thing. I don't know if this is going to turn out nearly as nice as hers, probably not, but I'm going to try it anyway. So I got 2 spools of this color, which I forget exactly which color this was. The number on it, it doesn't have the name of what it is, the color name. It just says the number. It's color number 4081. And if I look it up again, if I have time, I'll put it on the bottom of the screen what the actual color name is. But anyway, so it's this variegated purples. And I see how it's got some of the bluer purple in it. I wanted to try and find a dark bluer purple, but that's okay that I didn't. So, oops. So these just as the lighter colors variegated with, let me get more, with the darker purple, because there is a dark purple in the variegation there. And I think if this is the darker color and this is the variegated lighter color, I think it's going to look really pretty. And if you disagree with me, that's okay. I'm going to try it anyway. And I just dropped the fabric that I'm doing with it. So the fabric that I bought for it is 36 count platinum linen. And I got a fat half for this in the 36 count. And because it's 36 count, I'm going to do it 1/1 full cross. Or no, not 1/1, 1/2, sorry. 1 thread, 1 strand over 2 threads of 36. That's it. I said that wrong. Okay. And so it's platinum, and I think, what do you think? I think it's going to be okay. I'm starting to worry that this is too purple though. But like when I look at it in different lighting, I go back and forth. I haven't started it yet, but I might just do a little sample stitch on a swatch and see how they look together stitched. That's probably what I should do. Either way, I love this color and cotton thread. So that's an upcoming new start that I'm going to be, I'm starting it sometime this summer. I don't know exactly when yet, because I'm really focused on Beauty and the Beast right now. All right, what else did I buy? I got, so I had placed an order probably 10 months ago, maybe even a year ago now, for some Picture This Plus fabric. The color is Velt, V-E-L-D-T, and I ordered it from Traditional Stitches, and I mean, it was sold out everywhere. It was when all of the monthly series came out with the fox and the bat and the raccoon and Year in the Woods. Wasn't it Year in the Woods? And so as those monthly patterns were coming out, one of the 3, is it the summer ones that came out, were on Velt fabric and couldn't find it anywhere. So I ordered it from Traditional Stitches because they still had it listed on their website. So I thought, well, maybe they have it, but then they contacted me and said, no, we don't have it, but as soon as it comes in, we'll let you know. 10 months go by, like, and that was probably April. I think it was like maybe March or April. I finally get an email and they're like, let us know if you still want it. And I'm like, yes, I still want it, please. Because I don't know, I started it on the called for fabrics. I did the fox on the called for, and I thought I wanted to do the whole series on the called for because I just wanted to. You could get Velt. You could get 32 count Velt, 28 count Velt, 40 count Velt, but you couldn't get 36 count for some reason. It was just not available anywhere. So finally it came in, and I had ordered 3 1/8 cuts. I know I could have just done a fat half and cut it, but I like when the edges are already serged because my sewing skills are like not great. So those finally came. I said, yes, I would like to. And so I paid for them and they shipped them. So I got those. So now I have all 12 cuts of fabric to work on the Year in the Woods series. The only one I have finished is the fox still. I haven't worked on any of the others. But I have all the patterns. I have all the fabric. The only thing I don't have are some of the specialty threads. I have some of the earlier ones, but then I just kind of stopped ordering them because they were all out. It's like as soon as the pattern was released, then people were going and getting it. So there's that. What else did I'm just gonna randomly pick up stuff off my piles. I picked up, it's just a random 25 count Lugana from Hobby Lobby. I was in there one day and it was on sale, so I picked it up. I think it's marked $4.99, but I think I got it for like half price or something. So it's not a very big cut. It's 11 by 18, but it might be something I'll figure something else to do on it. Let's see. Here's I got organizing a little bit. I ordered Nora Corbett design. It's Water Lily, which is NC 166, and it came with the bead pack, or it didn't come with it. I ordered it because it was available, I should say. So Water Lily and the bead pack. Yeah, so just one more for my ever-growing collection. I said I was only going to collect the Mirabilias, but now it seems my pattern collection of Nora's has started to grow. So because those ones have started to go out of print, so I have all the early ones, but I want to, when I say I have all the early ones, I mean like probably like, I don't know, the first 50. And I don't know if I'm gonna have all of them. I just want to get the ones that I like. I like the Pixie Couture collection. I like this Water Lily one, which is the Spring Garden Party collection from Pixie Couture. So there's just certain series that I like, the little pixies and fairies and stuff. So I might just stick with those and not all of them. And I have the reindeer. I have all the reindeer collection with the reindeer and the sleigh. And so, okay. I better keep going because otherwise I'll be here for a while. Oh, I made another trip to Color and Cotton not that long ago, probably 3 weeks ago, and I got 2 more pieces of fabric. These ones are 1/4 yard cuts, and they both are called limited edition, but they're just a slightly different color. One is, you can probably tell, this one is a little bit lighter. This one's just a little bit darker. And they're in really pretty green colors. I don't know if you can, it's like a seafoam kind of a, well, this one's more of a gray green. When I do it like this, you can see this one's a little bit darker. It's more like a gray green, and this one's more of like a lighter green. So I got those 2 pieces of fabric for my collection. My stash. I shouldn't say collection, it's a stash. When it comes time to finally start more stuff, because I keep starting more stuff, it's just really nice having a variety of colors. Plus I want to support Color and Cotton locally. I want them to stay in business for a really long time. So then I found I don't know, for a while there were a whole bunch of dimensions kits online that were just marked way down, and they're brand new. They've never been opened. But I just kept finding, like, I just kept seeing them. So I was like, well, you know what? I'm just gonna go, if I see one and it's a good price and I don't have it, I'm gonna get it. So I got this one. It's called Winter Cabin. This one is Sweet Dreams Stocking. I've always wanted this one. Amanda Lucky Chance Stitcher is working on this one. It's so pretty. I know there's a few people working on it, but whenever I see her Instagram pics, I'm like, oh, I really want to get that. So I finally did. I have Petites. It's a gold Petites called Feline Love. And this one's been opened. It was on eBay, and it has been opened. It looks like someone started it. They only did like maybe 3 stitches in the middle or something, but I don't know. That doesn't bother me as long as the stitches are good. There's very little done. So it's a cute one. And it was like only $6, I think. So I was like, I'll get that one. I got another petite, Dimensions Gold Petite called Christmas Stories. And one more Dimensions Gold Collection Petite called Furry Friends. And this one's been open before too, but it doesn't look like it's everything looks like it's still new. Like hasn't been started or anything. I got a regular Gold Dimensions kit called Candy Cane Santa Stocking. There's also a version of this. It's not a stocking. It's just like an 8x11 kind of picture, like a normal square rectangle shape. But I got the stocking version. And this one is called, it's an older one. When's it from? This one's from 2001. It's called Santa's Sleigh. I thought it was really pretty. I like the little cardinal there too. And over here, yeah. Recently, oh wait, I had ordered one more Nora Corbett pattern called Tulip with the embellishment pack. So I got the embellishment pack, and that's Tulip. Put that in my collection. That's NC 168. And I got some Stony Creek books. There's a series of 4. They're the In the Village series. So there's the Spring in the Village, Summer in the Village, Autumn in the Village, and Winter in the Village. And I saw these stitched up and hanging on a wall. I don't know if they had all of them, but they had at least 2 of them in a cross-stitch store that I can't remember which one. It was several years ago. And I thought someday I would love to get those patterns and do the whole series and just interchange them out each season. But, you know, one more thing for my wish list, my growing list of all the things I wish I could do and don't have enough time to do. But we must dream. We must. Let's see what else. I don't know if I've showed these before. These are some patterns I picked up. Let's see. I got 3 patterns. I went down to Stitches Etc. in Farmington, Missouri. I think that was like maybe back in April or May. And I picked up a few patterns there. This one's called Kind and Gentle Woodland Holiday Sampler designed by Karina Hiddle of Artful Offerings. And they had the model stitch there, which was really, really cute. And of course, when I see a model stitch, I'm like, oh, I have to have that pattern. And I got Sweet Wing Studio Singing Sparrow. And Quilting Bee by the Blue Flower. So those are the 3 patterns I picked up there that day. It's about an hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half drive each way for me, so it's not convenient, which is why I like having Color and Cotton so close. So then, after I went to Stitch North that weekend in Toronto, I ended up flying to Eastern Canada for the week after that, and I spent the week with my dad. And in Moncton, New Brunswick, they have a store there. What's the store called? I'll put it on the screen because my brain's gone. So the store there, I ended up going in. What an amazing store. It's honestly, every time I go visit my dad, I'm gonna have to go there and just spend a couple hours. I picked up a couple, number 1 and number 2 from the Songbirds Garden series, Forever and Ever and Merry and Bright. These are the 2 that I picked up. Those 2 patterns. I also got my very first Glendon Place pattern called the Rose Mandala. I don't think I've ever seen this one before until I saw it there in the store. My mom loves roses. She's always been a fan of beautiful red roses. So I got that one. That might be a little commemorative piece. And I got this one called Sheep in the Meadow by Country Cottage Needleworks. Because I love sheep. They're so cute. And what else did I get? I think the rest of what I got here is from vendors at Stitch North. And this is it. This is the last of it. I got a couple of pieces of fabric. I don't even remember. This is called Glacier. And I'm sorry, I don't even remember who I got this from, but it was really, really pretty. I should remember who I got it from. If I can look it up or put it on, I'll put it on the screen, but I honestly don't know if I can remember. And got another piece of fabric called Catnap. And that's a 32 count, quarter yard cut. And then I got my very first patterns from Tiny Modernist. I got spring bird houses, the garden hare, the cat tapestry, which was model stitched, and like I said, I'm a sucker for a model stitch. It was so, so cute. I definitely want to work on this one someday. Jolly Christmas Bell Pull. And the Wizard of Oz tree. That's so cute. All right. That's it. You're caught up on everything since my last video now, I think. So, thanks for sticking with me. I think this is a slightly longer video than I usually do. I will, for those who don't want to stick around for a life update, that's fine. Thanks for joining me, and I hope I see you again next time. I have like maybe a 2 to 3 minute life update, maybe not even that long. I'll hit the highlights. Starting a new job again in the end of May. Best decision I ever made was, I know everyone, I told everyone, you know, I started a new job in January, and it was like, hey, it's great, I'm learning AI, I'm learning all this like machine learning and robotic process automation and stuff, and unfortunately it was just, the position wasn't going down the path that I wanted it to. They kept changing it, and it was starting to become more like administrative and managerial, and they wanted me to hire a team of people, and I'm not a people manager. I made that pretty clear when I started. I was like, yeah, the only thing I don't like is managing people. So what do you think they wanted me to do? They wanted me to like manage people, and I was like, I really don't want to do that. And they just were like, well, that's what you're gonna do. And I was like, no, I'm not. Bye. So that wasn't the only thing. There was some very strong personalities, and every job has strong personalities. It's not that. I just want to do work that I love to do. I just want to work on, if I'm going to work for another 15 years, I want to do work that I like. So I made a move to another company doing the kind of work that I was doing, IT work, coding that I was doing before, like the last 4 years prior to this last position, and it was the best decision I ever made. I am so happy. I'm happier. They're paying me more. I have 7 weeks of PTO every year, which is crazy. 35 days. I don't even know if I can use 35 days. I don't know. I guess I'll try, but anyway, they have tons of holiday time. They are flexible hybrids. I can go in the office part-time and work from home part-time, which I love. I don't want to be all at home, and I don't want to be all in the office. I really like hybrid. So that's great. I'm just so happy. I've been there for a month, like 5 weeks, 6 weeks. And I know I'm going to be happy there. Like you just know sometimes. So it's going to be great. So there's that. Like this is it. This is my last job. Like this is the job I will have until retirement, or until they kick me out the door for some reason. Hopefully they don't, but Like, that's the kind of job this is. So life's good, family's good, my kids are good. My oldest daughter graduated from university and she's home for this, well, she's home now. She came home for the summer and she's gonna kind of figure out next steps, and so she's working on that. And of course she can stay here as long as she wants. I love having her around. And my youngest is good, and her dog is okay. She's still working on, she's still working with a trainer with her dog. He's just a little, he's just very scared. He's scared and anxiety, and so he's great when he comes here to our house, but he just for whatever reason just has a hard time meeting new people. And given that she lives in an apartment building and she's always meeting new people, like there's just always people around, it's not the same people all the time, so that makes it a little bit challenging for her. But he's a sweet dog, and she is a wonderful dog owner, so she's doing everything she needs to do to make it work. Let's see, I think that's it. I mean, I have a ton of, like, I have so many people I would love to shout out. Honestly, I have so many amazing stitching friends. But I just, and you know what, I might even just shout out a few people right now. I made a list. All right, this isn't a look, like, there's so many more people. That's one of the reasons I don't like to shout people, is because I know I'm going to miss someone. So if I don't say your name and you know that we're good friends, please know we are good stitching friends, and I don't mean to leave anyone out. But people that I have been watching, Adventures of Stitching, Alicia. I've been watching Angie from Angie Slowly Crafts, Julie from Stitching at the Cabin, Julie and her daughter, but Julie is the one that I tend to message mostly with, Beth the Steadfast Stitcher, Elena Stitching Farmer. Okay, she does stockings, mirabilias, Nora's. She's got a finished parade of all her miras and Nora's and stockings. Like, she's okay. Every time one of her videos pops up, I have to watch her. So Elena, I don't know if you watch me, I don't know, but I absolutely, if you are, I love your videos. Please keep doing them. I love everything that you work on. Elisa, eCrafting in Colorado, and I've already talked about some of the other stitchers earlier in my video too, but Carla, Stitch Me Sane. Hi Carla. She's new to me, but she's got this Wall of Women thing going where she's like working on all these projects to put on her Wall of Women, and WOW, wow. So been really having fun watching her videos as she's been progressing on her projects. Milka from Mega Stitches. Now, it's been a while since I checked on her subscriber count, but we need to get her to 1,000. I think she's getting close. She told me about another stitcher, or she told in a video she was talking about another stitcher called Elena, the Whimsical Stitcher. Another channel to check out. Amazing stuff. And then okay, so there's this one person on Instagram that I found, and he's called The Crafty Dad, and he does these amazing, like, full coverage pieces, and he's like one at a time. He's a serial stitcher, so he only does one at a time. They're like massive, and he makes amazing progress. Every time you see him post something, you're like, wow, he's got another page finished already. So if you haven't seen The Crafty Dad on Instagram and you like full coverage, I would check him out. He's amazing. So those are like a few people that I just wanted to shout out, because they're just people that I have watched, and yeah, so. And some I've interacted a little bit more than others, but I know, again, I have a whole list of people that I haven't like written down everybody, so you know if we are interacting, or if you want to interact more, just message me, leave me comments. But you all who watch my videos are near and dear to me, so thanks for being here, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again hopefully very, very soon. I'll be back with a video, and we'll announce we'll announce the giveaway winner. So all right, thanks, bye for now.